Hey guys, this is a Batwave, and today I'm going to be giving you a review about the Disappointment Room. I gotta say, it really did live up to his name, and it was very disappointing to watch. I'm not trying to be, a messed up dickhead, but at the same time, I'm trying to be realistic about something. And I'm not trying to give it a negative or positive critique. I'm just trying to be realistic about it. So this movie, I gave it a 0 out of 10. It was probably one of the worst movies I saw. It was atrocious, mainly because the plot made no sense. It was just pop-ups, like a typical scary movie, but at the same time, it wasn't even that scary. So, and a lot of people even left kind of stunned. I saw the expressions on people's faces, and they're pretty perplexed and kind of like stunned just to see like what was going on. It was pretty atrocious to watch, mainly because the main character, she was going through depression. She lost her kid. She went to sleep on her own daughter, which I thought was pretty stupid. But she basically killed her first child, and had to deal with that for the last 3 months of her life. It's been 90 days, and she has another child too, a current child that he's the oldest, and I think he's about 7 8 years old. The cast who plays this woman over here, you guys see, is Kate Beckinsale. She's a very famous actor. She's really hot, and she's very attractive as a woman. But I think her role in this movie was very downplayed. I think it was she had way more potential than she did. But I don't think it was her. I think it was mainly the writer, and the writer of this movie is DJ director DJ Caruso, and I think he did a very bad job, mainly because this movie was very disappointing to watch, and it really did up, uphold its name when watching it. A lot of people weren't even like scared really, and it was supposed to be about a haunted house and demonic possession in the movie, but clearly the director did not make it clear. The plot was very disturbing, and the way the ending happened was just it was so weird. It was just basically the family moving from their new house back to their old house, mainly because you know they wanted to start a new life, and her husband and her kid did not have any part in anything. They were just there the whole time. Nothing happened to them, and I think it turned out to be that she was the killer. But I think it was a really bad movie, and it just didn't like appeal to me at all. And I never give a movie usually lower than even like a 3, but this is the first time for everything, so I think I'll give it 0 out of 10. And just to say, like, it was not that good. Moving on, I think that the other actors did an okay job. The dad didn't, he seemed like he didn't really care about what was going on, and he just kept thinking like the mom was depressed and she needed pills. He went to see a psychiatrist or a therapist, psychiatrist, to make sure like his wife was behaving like normal, and the psychiatrist was like, you have to surround her with friends. In one scene, this lady came back drunk, and she was just like pissed off because like her husband wasn't listening to her. Even her plumber, I think, was trying to hit on her, and he didn't listen, and she was just trying to do things on her own. She's obviously an architect and has to do things on her own, but I think it wasn't really like anything like special that I saw when it came to this movie. The only sustained suspense that came to watching this movie was wondering what kind of horror movie it will turn into, and the realization that it will not fear as a clown doll or skittering little girl ghost is one of its chief pleasures. Um, in a weird way, director DJ Caruso performed a clever and momentary tweak on the familiar trope of an innocent young child talking to an unseen imaginary or is he friend. And I think that this movie really did portray somewhat the supernatural feel to it, but also it didn't have fully what we wanted in the viewers, and the viewers were very confused. I'm gonna be honest. I was in a room full of like 30, 40 people in the theater. It was a small theater, but everyone was just very perplexed. And to be honest, people like simplicity, so I think this director went ahead and beyond with the whole complicated dead child implications, and he wanted to set up the dark horror that came with this woman. But I think like giving other characters better storylines, giving the main evil being like the guy who's a butler and his dog more substance and get a backstory would have helped. There was not much backstory besides one deformed child that was just basically punished in a room the whole time, and it was called the disappointment room for a reason, because it was a room in the house that was meant to hold a child was restrained in that room for a very long period of time. The child did not see light. The child did not have a way to go out. So I think it was like kind of cool in that sense, but mainly the child wasn't even emphasized. She just died in one scene, and this woman, Kate Beckinsale, was looking at her, and she was just like crying or whatever, like a typical reaction. So it wasn't anything out of the ordinary, and I do not give this movie a really good critique. And 4.8 out of 10. Oh my god, I think that is one of the nicest things that IMBD can do to this movie, and I'm surprised that I even got the higher rating. And yeah, this is my critique of Disappointment Room, and let me know your thoughts and opinions, guys. Like and subscribe to my videos if you still like me. Keep liking my videos. If you don't, it's okay. Go on to other YouTubers. They're cool too. I'm not spreading any hate. So this is the Bad Wave. I'm out. Peace.